Okay, Travis Wayne Goodsell. Now I'll get to other news. Because it was Friday yesterday, lots of stuff tends to sneak through because typically people are unaware if you post it on a Friday night or into the weekend, or it gets less trafficked to the point where people are non-caring by the time Monday comes around. That's just the way it is. To catch you up on Utah news with commentary. I can't use a innuendo because that's taken by the former Carrie of the Carrie, Bill, and Gina show, Radio from Hell, X96 KXRK, Prologue in Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't know if they still exist, but that's where the word comes from. All must bow and give obeisance to Carrie, who came up with it. Hey, Carrie. Utah Gymnastics beats Stanford. Well done. This I thought was disturbing. The Justice Files. A former UVU wrestler admits guilt. The way the reporter said it was disturbing. He said that the victims were waiting for this Dayton racer guy to admit he was guilty. That's not how our justice system works, guys. This is part of the cancel culture catastrophe, is that people demand people confess without a trial. And so accusations fly out everywhere, people's lives are destroyed and ruined, and people then feel vindicated without due process. You must have due process. If you have an accusation against somebody, you must take it to court. You must be allowed to take it to court. I have an accusation against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I have to take it to court. I can't just come on YouTube and complain and argue against the church without filing an actual complaint. Now, if I'm not allowed to, which I'm not being allowed to, then yes, if this is my only voice, YouTube needs to allow it. But YouTube's not allowing it. So you see where the corruption is spreading and silencing victims. It needs to stop. We need our First Amendment right to petition the government for a redress of grievances, which means we get the prosecutor to represent us. The Fourth Amendment, is where the defense, those who are accused, get defense counsel. So we get prosecution counsel, the defendant gets defense counsel. That's how the system is supposed to work. We're supposed to have an immediate trial, not years from now. No, where our lives get ruined if we're the accused, where we get locked up in jail, and if we're too poor to afford bail, we rot there unless we plead guilty. That's not how the system's supposed to work. That's not what the Constitution says. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the police can interrogate you to get you to confess. No. And so again, why are we doing this? Don't play the system. Fight the system so that they do it right. We cannot allow a foothold, but the foothold has been given. You can't work within the system to change it. It just doesn't work. They won't let you. And so, yeah, it was very disturbing the way the reporter said it, is that these victims were waiting for him to confess. so that they can have peace. No! I mean, I'm a guy, but if I were raped, and I can put myself in a situation with the church having falsely disappeared me, I want justice. I want them shut down, canceled. But I'm doing it through the legal process. Do you see the difference? I'll be happy when I get a victory in court. I will not be happy until then. I don't care if the church comes out and says we confess. They've already done that with the Gospel Topics essays. We confess, we've been lying, we've been deceiving. It doesn't matter. I mean, I have my discovery. It confesses. That's the evidence in my case, is the discovery from the 2008 case. I don't want to hear them say they're guilty. I don't want that. I want the judge to say guilty. It can't be by a jury of peers, because they'll side for the church. And then this is civil instead of criminal, so they don't get punished criminally, which is another injustice in our system. And so, yeah, come on, guys. If you truly are a victim of a crime where your life, liberty, property has been taken from you, and rape involves all three of those injustices, you need to take it to court. Don't worry about getting him to confess, because when you present the evidence and it's overwhelming and the jury says, yeah, guilty, that's the day you can breathe a sigh of relief. That's the day I'm waiting for. As I got it with the judge, but it was an entry of default. The church has until the 30th of March at midnight, when on the 31st of March, I get to go into the federal court and put in an entry of default if they refuse to respond. I will check the mail today for the waiver of service. I doubt it'll come today, because the mail takes 2 days with all the processing that's involved with the post office, but we'll see. All right. The next thing that, I don't know, Utah, I guess, wants to be a part of the clique, the coronavirus clique. Oh, don't leave us out. We got a victim too. It's the same person that was brought to the Intermountain Medical Hospital. And so, no, we don't have one yet. We have the one imported in. And so, my old hometown, alma mater hometown of Rexburg, they're tying pink and blue ribbons around the old oak tree for the Valo kids. Valo and Daybell, I guess. So that's kind of sad, because Lori is now in Rexburg, and she had her bail reduced, which that was bad news. You don't reduce her bail, but yeah, she's not going to tell. And there are reports that her cult group association that she was a part of involves sacrificing kids. And I got that from the news, not some random person on the internet. And so if that's the case, that's very disturbing. I mean, a Mormon, what the hell? Mormon from Arizona marries a psycho Mormon from Rexburg. And she kills her husband, has her brother do it. Just unbelievable. The horrible miswiring of Mormon minds. All right. Then we have Bountiful as having a purse snatcher. Multiple purses in Bountiful are being snatched and grabbed, and identities stolen. So that's to be expected. It wouldn't surprise me at all as if the snatch and grab person is a homeless person who was scattered by Operation Rio Grande. Wouldn't surprise me at all if that turns out to be the case, because they're all in Bountiful, so it's somebody who doesn't have access to travel to different locations. If you remember back in the days when we had the guy who was putting the fake credit card vendor on the gas station pumps, and people would put in their card thinking that's where you put your card, and instead the guy was stealing the credit card information. They would go from city to city, not stay in one city and go to all the gas stations in that city. Because this guy is sticking in Bountiful, it seems to be clear that he doesn't have motor vehicle transport. Just, my observation. The police aren't going to take any of this under advisement. But purses is low level, and so that's what I can see there, is that a homeless person who got scattered in Operation Rio Grande is resorting to this because he's getting desperate. And there's another students protesting at BYU and at the church. And I did the video. It's in the wrong location. I need to make sure I upload it for you. The Utah coronavirus patients are allowed home. So we're going to have more numbers. Yay! Woo! Boost our numbers for Utah. We want to be like Iran and Italy. Here's something that I don't think anybody's catching, because it says a Utah company has developed a coronavirus quick test. The reporter mentions it, but they don't catch on to what it is that they're saying, because they're just reading what they're supposed to say. This is a business. They stay in business by making money. They don't make money, they don't stay in business. They're capitalizing on coronavirus, because what they've done is they said, oh, we've invented this quick test and we're selling it to all the world. Huh. Have you heard of war crime profiteering? This is pandemic profiteering. Because our government, federal government, refuses to provide the tests quick enough, if we've even had any in the first place. And so this company all of a sudden says, yeah, we got a test kit ready to go, sending it through all the world, everybody can buy it, just $9.99. But wait, there's more. If you buy now, get a free mask. So yeah, a Utah company is trying to capitalize on the pandemic. And so I don't know the quality of this test as to how effective and accurate it is. So just be warned, Utah is the home of scams. Was it my dream, or was this news story that I saw somewhere the other day? Yes, it is Utah. It's news. It was yesterday. It was where I was busting up laughing for a whole minute before I could finally speak. And I did that on purpose. If you're wondering, well, why didn't you just wait until you could speak and then start the video, Travis? We don't want to listen to you laugh. It's because of how horrifying it was. for the people who are caring for the homeless at these shelters, these brand new shelters that just opened up. Now they're claiming, hey government, we need 3.5 million or we're shutting it down. Talk about your scams. Holy crap. And this one is having lives in jeopardy. They're going to the government saying, hey, 3.5 million or these homeless go back to the streets and there's no other shelters. Holy crap. So bad news here in Utah. It's a great place to live in Zion of God. I did that video yesterday for you. And I've done others where it was further in, so you had to endure listening to me ramble. But Joseph Smith gave a talk, gave a speech, where he outlined his plans before the coming of the second coming. The coming of Christ. He doesn't say the second coming. Key difference. And Mormons miss it because they want to be Christian. They forget all about the first vision, that we all go on our missions and tell everybody else. Jesus told Joseph that all of Christianity is wrong. What? Oh, no. Oh, it's okay. You have some truth. And we want to bring that truth into our church as you pay the church tithing money. Scam. Anyway. And so this is interesting because Utah, as a Republican state, always refuses Democrat federal money. We handle things on our own here in Utah. We don't need no federal government funding. Well, Governor Herbert has declared a state of emergency amid evolving outbreak of coronavirus. He has no problem taking the money now under Trump. It probably has to do with the 3.5 million extortion threat by the people running the brand new homeless shelters. Oh man. And then a car in Layton crashed into a store. And finally they're recognizing that the Intermountain Healthcare doctors are putting people into opioid addiction. And then here's a general thing. I crammed everything into 48 seconds. Fetal remains, bigamy, and daylight savings. And then this was yesterday's, but I didn't bring it up. This is disturbing. But again, I talked about it yesterday anyway, just didn't talk about this specifically. I talked about the concept generally. And that is that Utah loves to pass bills, to form a commission, to do research studies. We have passed a law to study the issue. And so money gets funded to people just to claim that they're studying. Oh yeah, we're working real hard on this issue and we're going to come to the bottom of it. We need an extension. 3.5 million. But we'll get back to you on that. We're so close. Just maybe another decade, and then I can retire. Oh, man. But yeah, a hearing on a bill to study transgender youth. Study transgender youth? What the hell? Shouldn't that be the job of doctors? Shouldn't they be studying it? I mean, they're the ones that perform the surgery, the transsexual surgery. People are getting messed up on the definitions, and when I was in New York, I was set straight on the definitions. Transgender is people who think that they're the other sex. Transsexual is where you actually become the other sex through surgery. And so, yeah, and if you also remember, we just had the ban for youth being put on conversion therapy. The church said, no, keep it. People protested, hell no. And the church then said, well, let's just adjust it. People said, hell no. So the government had to ban it. And so then, psychiatrists of Utah come to Capitol Hill, hey, give us $3.5 million. So that we can address the mental illnesses of the people, of the youth. Oh my God, Scam City, Utah. And so apparently that must have failed, because now they want to have a bill to study transgender youth. They're just circling around it without saying that they're actually going to reissue it. It's an atrocity, guys. Don't fall for this. Please don't fall for this. I hope I'm helping explain to you how they're running things, how they try to play us as chumps, how they scam us by being scammed themselves. It's just horrifying. Oh, I forgot to mention the Weber County Recovery Center opens, and it's because they have the drug courts in Weber County. So, I guess we better have a recovery center. Oh my God. They just don't think. They react. And because they react, they don't get it right. And they don't want to get it right. That's why they're always in reaction mode. So that they can continue to abuse people and say, hey, see, this system isn't working. We should have done it our way in the first place. Alrighty. But again, drug court, mental health court, divorce court, traffic court, they're all diversions away from the system that was set in place by our founding fathers. You've been a victim of a crime, you take them to court with a prosecutor to represent you. You're the accused of a crime, you get a defense counsel to protect you. It's that simple. And it's not the defense counsel's job to lie to the court to get you off so that you don't get punished for your crimes. That's not what they do. They make sure the prosecutor is not wrongfully accusing you, that they're following due process, that they don't lock you up in jail indefinitely until they force a confession out of you. That's what a defense counsel was supposed to be about. Oh, how we have strayed. And now we're reaping the consequences.